Well, hello, and welcome back to the Quad Life. Well, it is a Saturday evening. Chores are done, and a lot of people will say, time to do something fun. And if you have a spinal cord injury,
Get ready to turn right.
there are a lot of things you can do for fun, but you may have to adapt a little bit. So for someone that, say, has a lower level injury and is a paraplegic, then, well, you can do pretty well those things that you desire. As I said in an earlier video, I have a friend who is a paraplegic, and he does his own water skiing business or company. So obviously he can do water skiing. It's called sit ski. And there's also an option that you can do skiing in the snow that, say, they have little outriggers on your ski, and then you can go downhill and have fun in the snow, which some people like. Me, that sounds cold, so no thanks. But there are also things such as wheelchair basketball, a lot of people do. And I think rugby, I'm not certain on that. But I know with basketball that it can get to be pretty intense at times. I've heard of people that do not have any disabilities that give wheelchair basketball a try just to experience it. They're tired by the end of the day. However, there are also things like Special Olympics that you would have to use a wheelchair, and you can still do athletics. So that is all good for lower level injuries.
And then turn left.
But for higher level,
Turn left.
like mine, options are maybe not quite as much, but there's still a lot. I know other quadriplegics that go hunting, and they go out in the woods and have a special setup for, say, a shooting range or a gun or an arrow, and they can have fun that way. And I have also done arrow shooting many years ago when I was a kid, but I strapped a headband on around my head, and then I could pull back and shoot an arrow. It wasn't very comfortable, but hey, I can still do it. But for a lot of quadriplegics like myself, a lot of recreation ends up being on the computer. So if you have been following my channel for this year, you'll see me doing a lot of trucking. And this is my profile that I call Water Lines Trucking. So I like to do a lot of simulators. Right now, I do trucking, obviously, and farm simulator. But in the past, I've also done Flight Simulator and Microsoft Train Simulator. So not all hobbies, though, have to be technology related. I have several friends that use power wheelchairs like I do, and they are in a sport that's called power soccer. That they basically go in gymnasiums and will kick or push a large ball around and play soccer. And it's not real big in Iowa, but I know a lot of people in Indiana that do it. And one person even went all the way to France on an international power soccer team. So that's pretty cool. And for me, I also like doing trains. So when time allows, which unfortunately is pretty rare, I will go either with my dad or one of my caregivers and sit by railroad tracks and watch trains, or at least hope to. However, in the winter, but and summer as well, I also like doing model railroading. So in the basement, actually right below me here, we have a model railroad set up. It's HO scale, and we have it set that I can get to the main controls and drive trains around. Now, unfortunately, it is a very slow project because Dad's work-wise gets really busy, and so we just don't get down there as much as we'd like. But when we do, it's still fun. And it's something that I can get into. I'm hoping to maybe start doing weathering on cars, which basically you have like brown paint and put on cars to make it look like they're rusty, or some do graffiti on them, but to make your model cars look like the real ones that you see roaming around on trains. I haven't done it yet, but hope to some. I know a lot of spinal cord injuries like myself get into doing art One that I think of especially is a lady by the name of Johnny Erickson Tata. She has a cervical spine injury, I believe, around C5 or so. But she has been injured for many decades, more than me, and runs her own ministry called Johnny and Friends. But she also does artwork and paints pictures by just using a paintbrush in her mouth. And that's great. She does real well. I did some artwork in grade school, like every kid does, and also took art in high school. But art is not my thing. I don't really have an eye for it. And say my mind, I guess, is more programmed to doing well computer programming and more, I guess, mechanical type things. So for me, doing these simulators is kind of a way to experience something that I can't otherwise. So, and if things were different, I don't know, I may have driven a truck over the road or done something in the railroad industry. Say, I like being out of doors and not in, but that's not always possible. And yeah, also during the summer, which I actually did not do at all this year, I do like getting out and taking rolls on local bike paths and getting out in nature.
Exit right.
Finally, I also know of a group
Ready.
of
Right.
quadriplegics that has a gaming platform,
Turn right.
and they do, I think, more like massive multiplayer games. That's not really anything that I care to do. I used to play a game called StarCraft with a friend and I, but I don't really care for shooting games. And they just don't interest me. So if someone has a spinal cord injury, well, there are still
Go straight on.
many options for recreation. I even know
Get
of
ready. Turn right.
some that have done skydiving, and I've also done a zip line.
Turn right.
Both of these especially take a lot of help from people that are willing to do such things and help people to experience them, and I'm thankful
Side.
for those that do. And also got friends that do bowling, that put a ramp on their wheelchair, and that's just thinking of a few things that I know. So I have covered this entire run while talking about recreation, and had fun while doing it. There we go, made at the delivery. So that is it for today. Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. Yeah, if you have spinal cord injury, you can still do a lot for entertainment, and it does not mean you have to sit inside and just twiddle your thumbs, or even think about twiddling your thumbs if you can't move them. But bye for now.